Hello everybody, welcome to episode 2 of Two Guys Talk Wrestling. I'm Michael Formoy. Alongside me to my left is Ethan Roberts.
Good evening.
And we're just here to talk about wrestling, really. So what we're going to do this week is discuss Summerslam, Raw, Smackdown and NXT, hopefully.
Possibly TakeOver.
Possibly TakeOver if we can manage it as well. But we've got around about an hour that we want to do this show in. So Ethan, where do you want to kick off?
I think straight away we should start off with SummerSlam.
Okay.
It wasn't the greatest pay-per-view they've had. It was more hype than anything else. There was a few, I'd say a few fuck-ups, really.
Yeah, there was.
Definitely some.
Sasha, I think we'll begin with.
Yeah.
On the screw-ups. I think Charlotte just slipped off the rope, to be fair. I think it was pure.
Yeah. I don't know what sort of move she was even going for beforehand.
I was trying to work that out.
Not unless she was sort of going for some flying, diving Samoan drop or something. Cause...
I've never seen anything like it.
No,
she did not look comfortable for the next kind of 5 minutes or so. Any move just looked...
It's weak and sketchy.
Yeah, it just looked like she wasn't ready for any of it.
Yeah, hopefully Sasha won't be out for too long. They reckon 30 days.
30 days is the time frame. She's been written out of the WWE live events. I was reading.
It's not a suspension.
Apparently it was a injury before SummerSlam, from what I've been reading up. But Charlotte is the new champion. I think everybody's not very happy about it. Just kind of.
I would have preferred Sasha to remain champ, but to be fair, Charlotte's not a bad in-ring performer. She sells it well, and she's got the mic skills, and she is just like her father.
She was a better face.
I didn't really watch her as a face. She came into WWE as a bit of an arsehole.
And then used Daddy
PCB and used the whole I'm Ric Flair's daughter.
Yeah.
But to be fair, talking about the actual match, it was a very good match.
It was one of the few really good matches.
I thought it was actually
SummerSlam.
I think if the move hadn't gone wrong, it would have been the match that stole the show. It was a very good match.
Absolutely.
Credits to both performers on that one.
Both, and credit to Sasha for actually working her way through it.
God, yeah. Talking about working their way through it though, Finn Balor dislocated his shoulder, popped it back in, and still won the belt. Then had to relinquish it.
Still finished the match like a proper professional, and then it's now out for 6 months.
To be fair though, that match was insane.
It was a very good match. I still don't think it was as good as it could have been.
No.
I think I've seen them both go out a lot more all out than that.
I mean,
in
for me,
NXT for Finn, in WWE for Seth.
One of my best matches with Seth was the West. I can't remember what WrestleMania it was. It was against Randy Orton. Best curb stomp to RKO counter I think I've ever seen.
The curb stomp to RKO is brilliant. No, to me, Rollins, the best match I've seen him in was the triple threat match at the Royal Rumble a couple of years ago with Cena and Lesnar.
Was it Cena?
It was Cena and Lesnar. It was.
Was it Reigns and Lesnar?
No, it was definitely Cena and Lesnar.
Oh, there was one where it was Reigns and Lesnar was after he cashed in.
Yeah. So that just shows what Rollins can do, and that shows kind of how below par for Sunday he was, because I think he could have done more in that match. But well done to Finn for working his way up so quickly, for getting the Universal title.
Yeah, I mean the injury yet again, that turnbuckle powerbomb or barricade
powerbomb.
It's now turned into the barricade powerbomb. But I mean, he's injured Sting, he's injured Finn Balor.
Yeah.
I mean, they
How many more?
They banned the curb stomp for being too violent, and yet he didn't injure a single person.
Well, they banned the curb stomp for a face going into a mat rather than a shoulder into a barricade. But this is more dangerous at the moment.
He never injured anyone. I mean, he threatened to break the neck of Edge.
He did. That was with the chair, though.
That was with the chair as well as the curb stomp. That was impressive.
But I think you can't talk SummerSlam without talking John Cena, AJ Styles,
the best match
of the night, the contender for the match of the year, and we're still only in August. And probably one of the only matches that I know from recent times that's actually lived up to the billing.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one. I think that match
so many times they build it up, and it's an example of what I was saying about Finn and Rollins, of doing everything in their repertoire to make it as good a match as they could.
The modified moves were good, the creative counters and off the ropes, and Yeah, no, it's,
And
actually, to be fair, it's one of the.
I don't think there's anyone out there that couldn't say that they gained all respect for Cena, love him or hate him.
Yeah.
Gained
No,
respect
again,
for Cena and that.
I think for his age now, he is the veteran of WWE.
He is.
And most people his age will start to be slowing down a little bit and looking a little bit sluggish with the moves, and he sells it as much as he did 10 years ago.
Absolutely, yeah. He just wants to be there, and that's always good.
I say that was his best match of the year as well. It was a phenomenal performance from him. No pun intended. Wasn't intentional.
I think it was better than the first one.
Yeah. Oh.
The first one was good. Ruined for me by Gallows and Anderson segment in it, but you kind of see why they did it to build up to this point.
Yeah.
But
to have AJ actually win on his own, after having the club with him since he debuted almost, sort of good.
Yeah.
Sort of makes him the tough guy in SmackDown, which is good.
Absolutely. I think looking through, to be fair,
there is a lot to talk about.
There's a lot of Summerslam to talk about.
I mean, kickoff wise.
Yep.
I mean, kickoff wise, I think the kickoff was a bit weak.
It was. I enjoyed the 12-man tag match. I will say that now.
It was exciting. It was fast and aggressive. There was no slow bits to it. It was just all out good fun. And to be fair, I love the.
Per the end, are we gonna finally see a heel turn from the Usos?
I did want to. When we talked to SmackDown, I have actually a pretty good fan theory with this one. So really interested to talk about that one and interested to see where they go. But yeah, no build up between American Alpha and Uso rivalry. Now that's looking pretty tasty.
I hope so.
Hopefully
not just, again, too much hype, not enough product.
Neville and Zayn with the Dudleys. Yet another miscommunication by the Dudleys. Since they've actually returned, they've actually lost every one of their pay-per-view matches but one. Bear in mind, they are...
Learn something new, guys.
They are the most decorated tag team, or one of the most.
But they are the most decorated tag team.
And they are using them like this.
They have won a lot more titles than they say they do on WWE, but obviously TNA doesn't count.
No, it doesn't, unfortunately.
Well, not to the WWE world, anyway.
No. But yeah, so I don't think they're using their two good veterans and not using them right, and now they've done their little retirement.
They've done their retirement party, which... Again, we'll get to.
Yeah, and then the only other match was the Sheamus Cesaro.
Sheamus and Cesaro, yes. Excuse the background noise.
Sheamus v Cesaro, good match for the first of the 7.
Yeah, no, I can fault it. I'm not going to, but I can fault it.
There were a few small bits, but overall, it was a well above average match.
Yeah, the first kind of half of it was the same old kind of Cesaro, Sheamus.
The typical springboard.
Usual kind of stuff. But the second half of it.
Well, it was very good, absolutely fantastic.
Quite quick and moves
it was
out
aggressive.
of nowhere.
Yeah.
And
both showing a little something different.
And Sheamus with the win there as well, which I think surprised everybody.
Time. Yeah, everyone else sort of expected Cesaro. But I can see the final match happening in the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view.
That is what we'd hope.
That'd be a good way to end the 7th
they're
match.
doing match 2 next week, they announced.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure how it's going to work and how long it's going to take. So
yeah, I can see them dragging it out to about late October with the Hell in a Cell.
Hell in a Cell, it
would be a good Hell in a Cell match.
It would.
Sheamus Cesaro.
It would, but again, for me, and I've said this many times before in our conversations before we started recording these, was speciality matches should not have their own pay-per-views.
No, which the thing is, I think SmackDown have got that bit right. They've actually stepped away from the speciality match pay-per-view
I
and
think we're all very proud of it and
Raw.
glad of it.
But I'd love to see a broad kick on the top of the cell for Cesaro to fall through an announce table, or vice versa.
I think they're kind of trying to steer away from the big Hell in a Cell moments now, because you
tell that to Shane McMahon.
Well, it was a very special occasion. It was WrestleMania, let's face it, and it was Shane McMahon.
Yeah, but to be fair, Cesaro and Sheamus both deserve a good push, and they need a memorable match.
Yes, and
but
hopefully one of these days we'll get it.
Hopefully we can discuss their progression
throughout the following weeks. Yes.
Yeah, and hopefully the matches will just get better and better as well. Hopefully chucking a couple of different matches, Iron Man, that sort of thing. Rather than just a generic sort of match.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously the first match of the actual SummerSlam.
Enzo and Cass versus Jericho.
I love Jericho. I can't. Oh, they're just so good.
They are
just comically brilliant, in-ring brilliant.
A couple of botches. again, which kind of
The
was
pop-up code breaker.
The pop-up code breaker was phenomenally good, but did botch it slightly.
Yeah, Enzo didn't exactly jump far enough.
No.
And Chris Jericho
But
sort of gave a weird look.
It was still to.
What's happened?
It was still to pretty good effect though. Definitely, it still sold it well.
Yeah, no, very good match.
Very good match, but obviously, as we've been saying since the get-go of this show today, SummerSlam not the best.
No.
It was very long.
Yeah, and then obviously off that was the Charlotte Sasha Banks talked about.
Yeah, talked about that.
Then you had a little bit of ring post-itis segment, which I'm actually now bored of.
Yeah, I think they've kind of finished with that now though. Judging by
what happened on
Raw yesterday. Monday.
Okay, right.
Sorry.
It's NXT last night.
It was NXT last night. We'll try and get to that.
And Balor meets the club first time.
Yeah, Balor Club and Styles all in one room at the same time, but didn't seem to want much to do with it.
No, Balor. I was kind of hoping Balor might do sort of a little click thing, but
one of the most overused hand gestures in wrestling these days. It is.
Yeah, fair enough.
It is. It was started by the click.
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
Hence why it's called the click.
And now they're everyone's using it, and it doesn't have the same effect.
No.
To me at all.
Yeah.
Miz Apollo Crews was okay.
I liked Miz with a mean streak. From the get-go, he was the one leading the charge. He didn't back away straight away.
He did eventually.
Eventually. I didn't
That's the Miz we know and love, the one that backs away
but
from the fight.
The first half of that match, it was really good for his character. It showed him dominant.
It was about time.
Yeah. It was about time they showed him with a little bit of badass in him.
Yeah.
And it worked. It actually did what the fans were behind him.
Yeah.
And then he got,
And then he went into his usual stick.
Yep. And then
backing out and running away and
yep.
Slyly attacking. But I thought Apollo Crews was really impressive in that match actually.
He was actually very good.
He sold it all very well. Don't think he botched actually, which was a first for the night.
That's true.
But no, I look forward to seeing him hopefully down the line and bigger, brighter matches. Maybe again for the Intercontinental title.
I reckon he'd be a good Intercontinental.
Yeah, I don't think he's up there yet. He needs to work his way through the rankings definitely to get up there. For me.
Yeah, no, he's definitely got some distance to go yet.
Yeah, but he's definitely bright future.
Yeah.
Keep those moves up because they're exciting.
Yeah.
There's nothing I hate more than boring wrestling.
That's very true.
I like to be excited, edge of seat.
Like AJ
Cena,
yeah.
which we've already
if you
spoken
had
about
watched the Cruiserweight Classic this week, we would all know about Rich Swann and his insane standing 450 flips. They are actually incredible.
I shall look out for it when I eventually get there.
And then you have the New Day v the Club for the tag team titles.
Yes, Jon Stewart. What a weird choice of someone to add to the New Day.
But I will say this: I saw Big E coming out. I called that.
He did. Yep, you did.
I called that a few days beforehand.
You did, but everything I'd seen online and everything said he wasn't even in Brooklyn.
No,
but
they've done it well. See, that's the thing. Social media actually, rather than ruining it, they sent you off a complete different tangent.
Yeah.
So when he actually ran out, the fans were like, "Oh Jesus Christ, Big E's here."
I mean, he was signing autographs. There was pictures of him signing autographs.
Yeah.
But
no, that was really
all
good.
All things
actually.
said, it was presumed that he wasn't going to be there, and they'd just find some other way of.
So really hoping that they would actually give Jon Stewart a case of ring post IS at the end.
I think that's echoed throughout the WWE doldrums.
Yeah.
Because it just would have been funny. More than anything, it would have been.
It would have been
hysterical, and hopefully actually injured him.
So, the next match was Dean Ambrose and Ziggler.
Didn't live up to the billing.
No, nowhere near. It was not a memorable match out of the two. You know, they've had better matches in their little rivalry segments. Didn't stand up to what, it was built up to be the big match. It was the world title.
It was the WWE world title match.
And it fucking flopped.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It had a good start.
I wouldn't have said it was a bad match.
No.
But it was kind of a basic.
It was
kind of main event of SmackDown.
Yeah.
Match rather than
pay-per-view.
Again,
Summerslam,
as I've said,
big.
as I've said in the last 15 minutes somewhere, instead of going all out and
actually owning that chance to be
Yeah.
in front of what 15,000 fans.
Yeah, 15, 16,000.
You know, that's a lot of fans, and they all were just not too pleased with it. I mean, that's a big amount of people to perform in front, and they didn't live up to it.
No. No.
And again, next match, Naomi, Becky, and Carmella via Alexa Bliss, Natalya, and the sixth person.
The sixth person, the returning Nikki Bella. I know.
I called this as well.
Although, let me put this to you. Why on earth did they bother with the Eva Marie entrance thing, and then saying that she was off due to stressing that, when we all know in the WWE universe that she's been suspended?
I'm with you on that one, because they talked about Roman Reigns being suspended on live camera, Seth Rollins. And,
that's that. Yeah, that's it. The question is that the story they were supposed to run in the first place?
That is a very good point.
That would have had one way of getting Eva Marie out of that match, and one way of Nikki Bella returning.
I don't see why she went on the hill side of the match.
No, not after SmackDown, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she kind of...
Especially when it's Carmella. Nikki just flipped. It's spectacular.
It was... Yeah,
But
I think the women's division has missed Nikki Bella quite considerably.
Yeah. I think going on SmackDown, the difference between SmackDown and Raw at the moment with the women's division is SmackDown are using their women's division correctly. Yes.
They're actually using the women.
They've had all 6 women in.
For want of a better phrase.
That's so sexist. They have used all 6 women extremely well.
Yep.
Booking them right, and rather than just focusing on one straight away, they've gone, okay, well, this is what they can all do. Getting the fans' reaction and going, do you know what, we'll sort of push this person here. And, you know, actually sort of tweaking it towards what the fans want.
Yeah.
And we definitely saw that at SmackDown.
Absolutely.
But it was a good match.
We will get there.
Nikki Bella's new finisher almost. It wasn't the rack attack. It was
but to be fair, the rack attack was a bit crap.
But obviously she can't do it because of her neck.
It's very true.
That is.
Well spotted.
But I do like the new finisher.
The new one's better.
It's much better.
The new one's better. It's a bit more vicious.
It can sort of come out without quoting Mandy, and it can kind of come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's not such a specific setup. Now, she doesn't actually have to carry him on the back, which is good. I so sort of maybe see a little bit of a mean streak to her. Obviously, stay good, but a little bit of a mean streak.
And this is where it really went downhill for me. Rusev Reigns, after the 25-minute match on Raw last week.
To be fair, actually,
what was the point?
I think that was the point. I think the point was show the match beforehand because no one wanted to see it at SummerSlam and just have Reigns beat the shit out of Rusev, which I loved, by the way.
Yeah.
Rusev sold those beatings so well.
Yeah.
And Reigns actually was getting cheers towards the end. There was boos to start with. And then some
but I think you've got
to
to give Rusev credit for the way he reacted. That spear was
insane,
astoundingly good. The way he sold it. I believe, if I remember, I sent out a tweet on @2GTWUK. cheap plug. And I believe, what was the hashtag I put? No one sells a spear like Rusev.
That is true.
And it's true. It's true. There was usually the people just get flattened, and Rusev just absolutely just jumps into it, all arms blazing.
Yeah. To be fair, I like Rusev actually as an actual performer. I think he's one of the best that WWE have.
Yes, I still think he could use some pepping up. I still think he's a bit dull.
Yeah, but that's character though. But you know, I mean, he sells the moves well. He's safe when he does them, and you know he looks aggressive when he does them. He doesn't do pansy slaps. He actually, you know, almost looks like he breaks people in half with his submission moves.
Crushes them.
Talking about crushing.
Yes, crushing.
Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar.
Who knows if that match was supposed to end like that?
Well, judging by the way Randy Orton spoke on SmackDown, he seemed genuinely disappointed. Now, either he's a phenomenal actor.
Yeah, he seemed disappointed the match ended that way, but I think it was an accident that it ended that way. But Lesnar was being a dick. It's a move that's even banned in UFC. It's not even allowed there. That elbow to the head. Absolutely ruined Randy Orton's head.
10
puddle of blood, 10 staples in the head. I think it was probably supposed to run a bit longer, that match.
Yeah, I think that's why Brock Lesnar had to beat up Orton a little bit in the ring just to prolong. And then Shane McMahon had to come out and basically almost sign and lip sync F5 me, please.
Might as well have done.
Again, Shane McMahon solved that pretty well.
Yeah,
but
he does.
The problem I now have with Brock Lesnar is they have built him up as this absolute, I say beast, he is the beast incarnate.
Yeah, the beast incarnate.
They have built him up to be so unbeatable that there is no one they can put in a match with him that can live up to him. I mean, Braun Strowman's the only person I can think of on the roster that might actually do any damage.
Any damage at all.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Other than that, he's going to suplex through everyone.
I don't think, to be fair, I'm not convinced we'll probably see Lesnar now till about Royal Rumble January.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I reckon it'll be out for a while.
So I don't think it's anything we need to worry about for now. Because my respect for Lesnar kind of went down the pan Sunday night.
Yeah. As an overall, though, pay-per-view, good, bad, or mediocre?
5 or 6 out of 10.
It wasn't great, was it?
It wasn't the best, but it definitely wasn't the worst of the year.
No, it was definitely controversial. It got people talking.
It did. But I've seen a lot worse, a lot more boring pay-per-views this year. It was a lot worse.
I think it sounds harsh, but the injuries did kind of make it entertaining. It was the only kind of good thing about the pay-per-view. It sounds harsh to say that Randy Orton.
It is a bit harsh.
To be fair, Randy Orton bleeding all over the ring sort of saved.
He was Sparko. He was out.
Yeah, he sort of saved the pay-per-view. I was tempted to turn it off halfway through. It's just but to be fair, I did like Reigns just being the shadow of Rusev.
Yeah, I'm still not sure why we had to go through all the hype and the build-up to a US title match that never happened in the first place. And judging by, we go on to Raw now anyway, and I'll start on Rusev for a second. We had to watch Sunday night, we had to watch Reigns and Rusev beat the crap out of each other for a title match that never happened, and nothing's really been said about it since.
No, what bugs me is the opening bit for Raw was, I wouldn't even say a very emotional relinquish of the title. Balor's just gone through all this. He's just won title. I'm not even going to go on to about how disappointed I was with his demon entrance being spoiled. Could run on Balor for another hour. But yeah, when we went through all that, comes on Raw, relinquishes the title, wasn't very emotional. I says, I'll come back in 6 months and I'll win it back. So, okay.
Well, yeah, but he's allowed to say he'll be back in 6 months. That's the time frame for his injury.
Yeah, but that's fine. But at least, he didn't quite captivate the crowd. I mean, they didn't want him to go. They were chanting, "You deserve it," and good luck, Finn, and stuff like that. But there's been, they could have made it a little bit more emotional, I think, to start off, rather than it was very flat.
Yes.
And then you had just everyone come out and basically say that they want the title. So we now have
which worked to me. It worked quite well. I think the way they've now done it to determine your new champion on the short notice they had to have to rewrite.
Well, they had 8 wrestlers.
And that as well.
They've done 4 matches on Raw, and now you've got a
fatal 4-way next week, which should be.
It is Reigns.
Brilliant.
Reigns, Big Cass, Kevin Owens, and Seth Rollins.
Yes, and it should be bloody brilliant.
I think it's going to be incredible, actually. I think it's a very good 4 people to have in that.
I'm not really fond of any of them being champion.
Do you know what? I'd actually quite like to see Big Cass with the championship on him.
Well, yeah, but they haven't even gone for the tag titles yet. They need to give him some kind of prestige going into it.
I love Enzo and Cass, I do. But the way they're using Enzo in the ring is now boring me. How you doing? He's incredible on the mic.
Yep.
But he's a little flat between the ropes. He gets beat up a lot and sells the moves. But other than that, it's the same thing with Enzo now. He gets beaten up, Big Cass comes in, gets angry, and beats the shit out of everyone.
But, whilst I agree with you, that's kind of the point, though. Yeah, you've got the small guy and the big guy.
Yeah, but you want
the big guy to be the one that comes in and grounds and pounds halfway through the match when the hot tag's made.
Yeah, but you also want the small guy to go, oh, Jesus Christ, if he went for a singles wrestler, like Kalisto is exciting. He's small and he does... And he stands relatively well on his own. But with Enzo... Like Sin Cara and Kalisto, they were good as a tag team. You had a relatively bigger guy. Both of them held their own.
Yeah.
It was good. With Enzo and Cass, it's Enzo gets the beat in, makes a hot tag, and then Big Cass does all the work, and then Big Cass chucks a more way on from turnbuckle. It's very samey. They're good wrestlers.
Again, on finishes that I'm not sure about, I think Enzo and Cass double team ones need some work.
To be fair, if you could merge them into one wrestler, you would have the incredible mic skills of Enzo Amore and the incredible ability.
Enzo Cass-More.
Yes. 7 or combine their height.
Week 2 and the show's gone downhill already.
But no, they are fantastic. But I think they do need to do more with them.
I think it's good that Cass, the big man, is getting a chance.
Yeah.
But I'm still not sure who I want to win the Universal title.
As long as it's not Reigns, because if I'm honest, the thing I
Reigns,
have...
Reigns will just go down really badly with the crowd again.
The thing that I've got with Reigns now is they made him go after the United States Championship, beat the shit out of Rusev, and is now going for the Universal.
Yes, again.
Can he make up his fucking mind?
It would be nice. Well, it's not necessarily him making up his mind. Can the writers make up their mind?
Yeah, just there was better people that they could have put in that match.
Name one. Can put you on the spot now.
Can put me on the spot. You actually really have put me on the spot.
I've put you on the spot, haven't I? Big E.
Big E would have actually been a better one.
Big E deserves more credit than he gets.
I love Big E.
To be fair. But yeah, no, it's still not sure why they had Big Cass beat Rusev by count out. He just kind of walked away halfway through the match. And
I think mainly it wasn't to do with... I think the way that they played it was Big Cass is good in the ring, but Rusev is better.
Yes.
And I don't think there was any way in which Cass could have actually beaten Rusev for pure talent-wise.
No.
So by having Rusev play that I'm kind of injured, walk away from the fight, save yourself for another day sort of thing, puts Rusev sort of not on the shelf a little bit, but out of the main picture.
Yeah.
It allows Cass to get the little bit of spotlight without completely destroying Rusev's credibility as United States champion. If it was a clean pinfall, that means Cass has a chance to go after both titles.
True.
Which Reigns should be going after the United States.
I think it'll still end up with him going after the United States anyway. I reckon probably at some point Rusev will interfere next week. That's my prediction.
I would like to see Roman Reigns be the one that gets pinned in the Fatal 4-Way.
I genuinely kind of want to see Kevin Owens win that match.
It would be different. Either Cass or Owens. We've seen Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns recently, and I wasn't impressed with either of them.
But
yeah, no. So not bad.
No, and really, as I said, really looking forward to that Fatal 4-Way.
The only other problem I had with it was they used a tag team in that, Enzo and Big Cass, which I don't think they should have been in it at all.
No.
And then they've used Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens, which they're kind of building up as another tag team to build up their tag division. And I would love to see Kevin Owens as champ, but to be fair, I'd love to see him as tag champs.
True, yeah.
I think it'd be fun. But getting on to the next bit.
Where are we?
Zayn v Rollins was the first match to follow after that. Rollins went straight for Zayn. Zayn turned his back and went for him.
Did Sami Zayn get injured during the match?
No. But what he did do
was sell it really well.
Basically, Ambrose Ziggler and every other wrestler need to pay attention because brother Sammy just preached the best sermon on selling ever. And if everyone could just chip into the collection plate, it would be nice. Maybe just push that selling bit just a little bit. I mean, that was an incredible match. I genuinely thought he had actually done his ankle in, but no, perfectly healthy ankle and sold it really, really fucking well.
Yeah.
Shame he didn't win, but to be fair, Rollins is the slightly better.
Rollins was always going to be the first choice into that Fatal 4-Way.
But no, it was a very, very good match. And then it was followed by Kevin Owens and Neville. Again,
still not sure why Neville was used in that. I'll be honest.
I think they're still trying to build him up for that cruiserweight, show him off in some good light.
Possibility.
If they had just kept Jericho out, that would have been an incredible match. They had fantastic chemistry, brilliant moves, good interpretations, incredible counters.
Yeah.
Those 450 flips were insane. Just left, right and centre. Fantastic match. One of the best matches on Raw that night.
I probably agree with you.
There was no need for the Jericho interference. He barely done anything. Neville just took him out. But, I mean, well done to Kevin Owens for getting through that one. But it does show Neville in good light for the Cruiserweight, which is September 19th it debuts, I believe.
Somewhere like that, yeah.
So yeah, that's looking good. And then New
Day segment.
New Day segment.
New Day segment with the unicorn pinata. I'm sorry. That is the best idea.
It was fantastic. No, it was brilliant. I did actually really enjoy that segment. It was good to see the club come out in their original coats again, rather than the Doctor's coats. They were talking serious. Only 2 references to ring postitis.
Yep.
Which was good. So they've sort of moved away from that, because to be fair, they should be the dominant force in the tag division. They should just be. It's just like the Ascension and SmackDown, but they're using them wrong. But just like the club, they've tried to make them funny over the last month or so, and it just hasn't worked. And they sort of correct it slightly towards the end of the episode, where they bring them out and sort of do a magic killer through a table.
It was impressive. I'll agree with that.
Didn't I say to you a couple of weeks ago, I can't wait to see a magic killer through a table?
You did.
It was the perfect move for it.
You
Fantastic.
did. Should it have been at the end of the Dudley's retirement? Probably not.
No, it should have been on the kickoff show during their match.
Yep, they should have allowed the Dudleys to actually walk out.
Yeah. I did like the fact that they beat the shit out of Shining Stars. That was nice.
I think that was nice for everybody.
Yeah.
They fought back the Shining Stars, Primo and Epico, and I'm not quite sure why.
Yeah, I don't think even they deserve a little talk in our little show. Personally, we're just gonna.
Are we skipping past the Shining Stars radio?
But yeah, no. But the feud between the New Day and the club, I think, has got a little boring the last few weeks. Has potential to do something fantastic with it.
Yeah.
But they need to keep both teams with their own gimmick, because they can't try and make a comedy value. The New Day is always going to win on comedy.
Yeah, the New Day to me though are one of those, you say about Enzo and Cass, same old. To me, New Day, same old, but they just make it that little bit better every week.
It's different.
I don't know how, but they do.
It's like Edge and Christian.
Their 5-second pose.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? They've got these little things that the fans love. It's a very crowd interactive segment that they do.
Yes.
I mean, the Time Machine one for me was brilliant. But yeah, no, I love the New Day, and I'm actually really glad that they didn't lose their titles. I thought they would. Up until Big E ran out, I thought without Big E they're going to lose them. But no, I'm glad to see what the New Day. And then followed straight away was Anderson Big E. Well, that was a filling match.
It was a filling match, but I'll tell you the one thing that really made me happy about that match was the ridiculous tilt-a-whirl into the big ending at the end.
Yeah, that was insane. It was the only good part of that match.
That is one way to change up a finishing move. It was so good.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, yet again with the club, they had them flail. You say the word for me.
I don't know what you're trying to say, to be fair.
Well, they flail about.
Well, you just said it. You flailed about.
Yeah, but I can't say flailing. There we go.
There you go.
And again, it just showed them more as weak and comical rather than, a dominant force.
Yeah.
Again, they kind of correct it by putting Devon through a table at the end. That'd be quite nice to have the club sort of go on the table.
It's a way to make them look a little bit stronger, just to go after the biggest team in WWE history.
But it wasn't a great match, but it was followed by the worst segment this year.
I've actually just found my notes on this segment, and the notes I've written down is Titus O'Neil's inability to speak.
How can I put this? It was... I hate the Shining Stars, and when they came back it was awful, but this was worse than when they came back. This was the worst.
It was a really messy promo.
5 minutes.
It really
of my
was
life.
a messy promo, and he stumbled on everything he was trying to say. It took him about 3 attempts with different words.
Can we not just go for Bob Backlund's little submission move at the end?
Oh, what's wrong with the crossface? You leave the crossface chicken ring out of this. I just don't think it should have been done on someone that's 6'6" and
that's my problem.
God knows how many pounds.
Titus O'Neil was half his age, 5 times as strong, 5 times as tall, and yet Bob Backlund put him to the floor.
Yes.
I mean, if Titus O'Neil had any credibility at that point, that's just gone.
Yeah. What I took out of that segment, not much. I didn't take much out of that segment, but what I took out of that segment is I'm guessing that Titus O'Neil is supposed to be the heel in this.
Yes. See, I quite like Darren Young, but again, he doesn't have the best mic skills.
No, and he wasn't great in the first place.
No, but he was all right. He has potential. I'm holding out on Darren Young. I think he could be something good, but Titus O'Neil is he's fire him.
Don't hold back, Ethan. Just tell him.
Outside the ring for the company, he does well.
He does.
But they need to put him back as a decent tag team. He doesn't work on his own. It's just like Heath Slater doesn't work on his own. And
we shall get to that
him
as well.
very soon. Yeah, after that we had Rusev and
Big
Cass.
Cass we've touched on already,
Yeah.
to be fair. Again, it was
I
an alright match.
I don't think we can say too much more about that. It was relatively interesting. I thought the moves were good. Then we went backstage to Jericho and the constant digs at Tom.
Yes, poor Tom.
Poor
I feel
Tom,
very
mate.
sorry for Tom. Tom falls into a line of a couple of people that I feel very sorry for in the company. The other one is Saxton. Because I don't understand why they pick on poor Saxton when you've got Michael Cole sitting next to him.
Yeah.
Michael Cole really needs to be picked on. And Saxton...
I like Saxton.
I like Saxton, but I'm not quite sure why he's on commentary, because he was only ever in the WWE as a backstage interviewer.
Yeah.
I presume that's probably why they pick on him, myself.
But he also done the kickoff show as well.
Yeah, a bit of presenting and that. I'm not so sure about
But
calling matches.
let's be fair. The best commentator in WWE since JR
It is Mauro Ranallo.
is Mauro
He
Ranallo.
is,
He is.
We will get to him, definitely.
He is
needs to be spoken
absolutely
about
incredible.
today.
Yeah, no, Jericho, again, I think they should make them more tag team rather than singles.
Yep.
They can both hold their own in singles, which is good if they ever want to do something, different. But
Yeah.
as a tag team, I mean, that pop-up code breaker, that could be something special.
It can be something special if they fix it
Yes.
and get it right. Let me ask you a question. Just one question.
Go on.
Are you a hugger?
Am I a hugger? I was until she started talking.
What's wrong with Bailey talking?
In NXT, especially the takeover and the contract signing, the episode before takeover, she doesn't have the best mic skills. She is a fantastic in-ring performer, and I can't fault her.
No.
You can't fault Bailey. I mean, the fans love her. She's
Yep.
got one of the funniest, just the coolest little intros. I love those crazy arm inflatable people. I really do.
Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man, I think is the
Exactly.
word you were looking for.
But she needs a lot of work on the mic.
She does.
But I'm not knocking. It was a good debut for her. My only problem with it was they put her against Dana Brooke in Brooklyn, where she was the underdog in Sasha Banks last year and won her first ever NXT. She almost beat Asuka this year.
It was
in Brooklyn.
a great match. by the
It
way.
was phenomenal. But Bailey and Brooklyn now have a little bit of chemistry. It's like, Steve Austin in Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
You
Anyway, in Texas.
You just don't. They just go well.
Yes.
It should be home advantage almost, and it shouldn't have been a 50-50 match between Dana Brooke and Bailey. Bailey should have dominated more. We've seen Dana dominate in previous matches.
Yeah.
She should have taken one for the team. Bailey should have been the dominant one and walked out of that. No sweat. But they sort of got her on the defense quite quickly, and then they put her to the dominant side, and it was a relatively good, solid match, but it could have been much better for Bailey.
Well, here's hoping we see more of Bailey.
I can't wait to see more
Because
Bailey.
The women's division is lacking on
In
Raw,
very much so.
to me.
Then we get to a little 5-minute match with Braun Strowman and yet another jobber.
Another jobber, another crash match. But
But-
I have to point out...
That reverse face.
No. The
choke
reverse
slam.
choke slam is brilliant, but it's only topped by one thing, and it was the interview beforehand. Why are you here to face Braun Strowman? And I like big sweaty men was the answer to the question. You not touch on that before you talk about the crash match.
It was, I think, it was a spectacular cock up for choice of words.
It was a fantastic choice of words.
But
I
yeah,
think anyone was expecting that.
no, he didn't stand a chance, and we were all expecting that.
It was nice Johnny Knockout. Was his name,
Yeah.
probably.
But I think it won't be long before we start seeing Braun Strowman go up against the cruiserweights to show him beat people.
I think you've got to go a little bit higher than the cruiserweight.
No, I think it'd be a couple of the top end cruiserweights to show that he can beat them with ease, but beat some well known names. Do you know what I mean? Beat people like, I don't know, if Tajiri goes there. Do you know,
Yeah.
beat these sort of people that have got in-ring names and then go on and just destroy someone else.
My first choice for his opponent, for someone that's actually on the roster, has got to be Bo Dallas. It just does. Because they've been misusing Bo for years now.
Or Curtis Axel.
Curtis Axel was the other one as well.
Two good people that they could actually do something with.
But
potentially another good tag team if they use them right. But, you know, that's a topic
all
for
in
another
a good time.
Dudley's retire.
Dudley's retirement was wonderful. Gonna miss them. Don't think they should have retired.
No, but I do think ever since they've come back, they have just...
Should have been used better.
Yeah, I think it's actually the way they've been used is a little bit insulting. To anyone who watched the Attitude Era,
yes,
it's insulting to see the best tag team, and I'm a Hardy Boys man through and through, but the Dudleys are the best tag team WWE ever had. And as much as the Hardys were, for me, more entertaining, and I mean, Edge, Christian, Hardys, Dudley Boys, Spear.
Spear, Swanton, Twist of Fate,
Swanton,
3D,
of everything, of Titatrons, and
you
know, but Dudley's are still the most technically the best.
Yeah,
it was a shame to see them go. They should have been used better.
So,
and then we had Reigns Jericho was the last match, and I actually think it wasn't great. First half was dull, generic stuff, back and forth stuff, you know. But it did pick up. There was some momentum, and it sort of turned into something relatively like crowd slowly turned towards Roman Reigns in the end, which was nice. And it sort of
won't happen often.
No, Reigns won, and then we cut to end credits. But we now see Roman Reigns, Big Cass, Kevin Owens, and Seth Rollins in a Fatal 4-Way next week.
Yes, for the Universal title. I still don't like that name. Still think it's an awful name. I think it's a shocking looking title.
I can deal with the name. I can't deal with the look of the title.
I don't like it.
But yeah, no, I think it could be interesting. But for me, SmackDown was the better show again this week.
Again, yes.
Right? They may not have the ratings to back that up, but they are just better.
It started on fire.
Straight off the bat, it was AJ. It was AJ first. Basically, smack talking Dolph Ziggler, which I thought was brilliant. Just, you know, I don't like losers.
Don't like losers. I'm the new face that runs the place.
Yeah, no, again, AJ, good acting, sold it well.
Yeah.
Set up for a very interesting main event that if Dolph Ziggler won, it becomes a triple threat backlash.
Yeah.
But we'll get on to that.
Yeah. The new tag team championships and women's championship.
Okay, well, the women's championship actually looks almost the same as it does on Raw.
Well, they are both the same. The tag belts and the women's belt are exactly the same. They're just a different colour.
Yeah, no, but I mean, colour scheme wise, even the women's they're almost again. The tag team ones, though, I like the silver over the bronzy gold. I like the silver with the blue leather. It actually, for me, is nice. It's different. I know that it's always been, you know, the phrase has always been, you know, I'm going for the gold.
I'm going for the silver.
I'm going for the silver. I want to be second place. But no, I quite like them. I do think that they had a chance to completely change the design and do something decent.
Yep, and I am going to throw an issue out there now that I have, and that's the name. Because the name to me is... You can't have one show have the WWE tag team titles and the other show have the SmackDown tag team titles. If you're going to do that, you need the Raw tag team titles and the SmackDown tag team titles.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. You can't sort of have the world and then that little bit over there.
That little bit over there.
That team blue in the corner.
What's out there, Father? SmackDown, we don't talk about it.
Yeah, and then Heath Slater came in.
Whoa! Jumping ahead, Mr. Roberts.
So I'm loving
Jumping ahead, I'm loving Heath Slater too, but there was also the announcement of the six-pack challenge for the women's title
at
Backlash.
Said, they are using
every single woman on SmackDown apart from Eve Marie, but she's probably off being used by someone somewhere else.
Oh. What we said on episode 1, we weren't going to go for harsh comments.
No, I said no sexism, and I also said things that were going to be true.
That's true. It's very true.
But you got the six-pack challenge.
I'm looking forward to it. Who do you think's going to walk out?
Natalya, but I don't want it to be.
I think Natalya deserves it. I genuinely do. I think she's been in the company long enough and deserves actually to be the lead woman for just even a few months.
Yeah. I prefer heel champions, face champions even. I know I prefer babyface champions. I don't know why.
I think
Just
Natalia,
heel champions annoy me a lot.
Oh, it depends on what type of heel you go. You can get the cowardly heel like the Miz.
Yeah.
Or you can
Rollins.
But towards the end of the Authority bit, he was actually holding his own and doing very well.
Yeah.
But then you can get champions. I mean, Bray Wyatt's technically a heel. Can you imagine him as a champion?
That would be fantastic.
Oh, well, I am sorry for following the buzzards on that one. But yeah, so yeah, you think Natalia, but you don't want it to be?
I think Natalia, but I don't want it to be.
I reckon Naomi.
I would prefer it to be Nikki Bella.
Oh no! We had the longest reigning Divas champion, Nikki Bella, and she's had her good one. She can wait a little bit longer. You know, if anything, Becky Lynch deserves a fucking chance.
Yeah, she does have a chance, and she'll probably get the first chance at Natalia after Natalia's won the title.
Yeah, again, whatever we've seen, I'd love to see Naomi win. No,
Naomi's only had 2 matches back, though. Got to give her a bit more time, surely, than 2 matches back.
Do you want to talk about Finn Balor? 2 matches and champ. Wow, that's what I thought.
Okay, all right.
At least this time she won't hurt herself.
Well, famous last words. We'll see.
WWE have an injury with that. But yeah, I mean, then you had Slater.
Heath Slater is.
I like the fact that he got ripped apart for Daniel Bryan for not being equipped to be a women's champion. Followed by Shane going, well, you're not really equipped to be the tag champions, are we? You know, a tag partner. But Heath Slater and Rhino.
Yeah, Heath and Rhino is an interesting one.
It's very interesting.
But I don't reckon it will last long. This is prediction for next week when Rhino and Heath do have their match.
I reckon they'll win.
No, because I think Heath. I don't think he's actually going to be fully contracted for a while. I think they're going to keep using him in this capacity because it seems to be working. I reckon about halfway through the match, Rhino will just gore him out of his socks.
I reckon. Well, no. I can see them getting at least to at least win the first match, maybe lose the second. Because then at least it gives them some credibility to go, I won the first match, I'm going to keep going for this contract. If he loses on the first match, there's just no point of it.
Yeah.
They need to be able to show him with some sort of credibility.
Whilst I agree, I still don't think that'll happen. I think he'll just get gored out of his shoes next week.
And then it was all followed by AJ interrupting, saying it's all bullcrap, basically.
Yeah.
And Ziggler comes out and beats the shit out of him. Again, which I quite liked.
Yeah, no, I like the fiery Ziggler rather than the babyfacey I care about things Ziggler.
Yeah, no, it works well for him.
It's about right for the character they need to get him into to actually have him be successful.
Yeah, no, he doesn't work as I have feelings stuff. He needs to be that I'm feisty. I'm going to go after whatever I want and actually hit zigzags out that decent.
And then it kind of went quite bitty after that.
Yeah, it sort of lost its way slightly, and then we ended up with Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss having a match.
Yes, it suddenly happened out of nowhere.
When, yeah, it did.
It was an okay match. It was solid.
I actually think it was a very good match. It was good to see both competitors have a decent one at being dominant.
Yeah.
And they sold it well, and the reversal armbar at the end.
Oh yeah, the disarmer's brilliant. She's been doing it for so long, and it happens.
It was
quote Orton out of nowhere.
It was such a good transition into it. It was actually, to be fair, it's a very good women's match. Yeah. It was nice to see Alexa Bliss actually show some backbone. She was actually very good in it. I still think they've missed a prime opportunity for a finisher move. It should have been called Ignorance is Bliss. Good play on words.
Is this something that you're going to bring up every week?
I might do whenever we talk about sort of like
every time Alexa Bliss appears in our conversations.
I'm surprised you didn't bring up the boot of doom for the club. Yeah,
I'm trying to steer clear of things that anger me so much.
The problem I have with the next match was the Usos with the Ascension for this little tournament they're doing that's going to end at Backlash.
Yep.
And
with
crown.
2 teams left.
The Usos, for me, are the veterans. They are the best there. They do have the most in-ring ability. The Ascension were the dominant force at NXT, ripped through everything. They came up to main roster. They paired them with Stardust, and they lost credibility.
Yeah.
And then they've sort of become the jobbers a little bit.
They have, but they got given a chance Tuesday night.
It was they took it.
Yeah, they took it.
So
the early goings, they were dominant, showed what they're all about, and hopefully someone will now pay attention, so we can see a bit more of that.
But I think WWE have done the same thing with the Ascension as they did the club. They should have made them the dominant force. That's what they were there for. So I was kind of sad to see him go out in the first round. I would have preferred them to face Breezango, or what they would now refer to as Febreze. It was absolutely brilliant. I don't know who said it, but there was a mislip, and they actually said for Fandango.
I missed that.
It was brilliant. So I've written down
Febreze for life.
It's absolutely fantastic.
I like it.
But yeah, but it was a good match.
It was solid, but disappointing at the same time.
Usos didn't do the whole arm grabby chanty thing at the beginning of their entrance.
No, they seem to have.
Kind of glad that they.
It's the Samoan Hucker, just for the record.
Okay, I'm glad. I just called the arm grabby thing.
The arm grabby hurry thing.
Yeah, I think for a 2-hour show, and they're trying to save time.
That might be part to do with it.
But they've also cut Camilla's entrance. They've actually taken her away from a microphone.
And she made it to the ring.
Yes, that's because she didn't have the microphone to slow her down the ramp.
She made it to the ring before someone beat her up.
Yeah, and then we had AJ back in the ring, continuing his
bragging from Sunday night.
You know, with the armband they then put around his head. Then Ziggler came out, and then Daniel Bryan came out. Because, basically, you're not going to ruin my show.
Yeah, don't ruin my show.
With your squabbles and fights.
Yes, AJ, the number one contender.
And Ziggler deserves another chance.
And then they gave us a brilliant main event.
It was the best main event SmackDown has had in years.
I'm going to talk about the main event first before we go through the rest of SmackDown. Because
that is fine.
Ziggler AJ was, I've got it written down in front of me. All I've got are 2 words: cracking match.
What did I put
That's
down?
I've got.
I think I just put down best match in SmackDown. I then went into a little bit more detail about how it built up for momentum. I mean, the first half was mainly AJ just being really dominant.
Yeah.
Ziggler doing his whole typical build-up thing and leg twitching for super kicks.
To me, that match was what Ziggler Ambrose should have been Sunday night.
Yeah. That match would have been better than Ziggler Ambrose at SummerSlam.
Yeah, that should have been how they both performed.
The way they done that match could potentially be pushing Ziggler for a heel turn. It was teasing it ever so slightly.
Yep.
Which would be good. I think SmackDown have yet again just.
I think SmackDown won this week.
They're doing everything right.
I think SmackDown won this week, and I think they've done it by doing something that I've been moaning about for ages, actually, and making matches a bit shorter.
Yes.
On daily shows.
Comes in handy. I mean,
fit it all in, but it doesn't lose the audience's attention halfway through the match.
No.
A la Reigns Rusev last Monday night.
Yeah. Cutting back to the last couple of things that happened in SmackDown, we had another Kurt Hawkins promo. I'm loving these sort of Chuck Norris hashtag tweets. Like, they are just absolutely brilliant. I mean, it's just, I can see the way they're going to sort of bring Kurt Hawkins across on the microphone is going to be that I'm going to talk crap and back it up in the ring.
Also, in fact, Death once had a brush with Kurt Hawkins.
Yeah, it's just brilliant. I'm loving it. It'd be to be fair, I love Kurt Hawkins, always have done. I'd be interested in seeing him back in the ring. But Camilla having the evil streak in her match.
Yes.
She laid waste to Nikki Bella.
She did lay waste to Nikki Bella.
About time we actually saw something decent from Camilla.
About time we actually saw something from Camilla. She hasn't really done much yet.
It's because she actually
done a bit of moonwalk and a bit of talking.
Yeah, but she didn't do the talking this time, so she got to the ring to do a fighting bit.
You actually got to the fighting bit.
Yeah, take away the mic and she can perform. But yeah, is it the Bella Buster? Does that finish it called?
I have no idea.
Where she just smashes Nikki Bella's face into the mat.
Oh, that one, yeah, the Bella Buster, yeah, that was the one.
She sold that well.
Yeah.
I'm liking that.
I'm liking, I'll tell you what I'm liking, is what I'm going to talk about next, is Orton and Bray Wyatt.
Yes.
The first bit I've got, actually, on my notes here, the first bit I've got is Orton is still alive.
Yes.
Somehow. We're not quite sure how.
I think it was just more incredible to see him in actual trousers. Something that covered his legs. We're talking about New Era. He actually covered up his legs
New
for a
Era
change.
Orton actually covered up. Not sure why you're looking at his legs.
Well, he always has but no, a very good segment. Bray Wyatt, yet again, the best. For me, he's the best person on mic in SmackDown. No one can sell the mic skills quite like he can.
Yeah.
He doesn't fuck up. And if he does, he twists it to his character. Rather than having
makes it up as he goes along.
Yeah. The creativity behind him is just absolutely incredible. I'm a massive Bray Wyatt fan. They haven't been using him right.
No.
The only time he's lost so far on SmackDown is through either weapons or removing turnbuckle covers. Yeah. There hasn't been a clean loss yet.
No, and they need to build him up to be stronger. And I think Orton's going to be the way to do that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I mean, for me, the Wyatt family went downhill at WrestleMania when The Rock decided to beat Warren in 9 seconds. You build up.
I wasn't quite sure about that segment, to be fair.
Build up a family faction, and then you have the most electrifying man in pro wrestling, because I'm not saying sports entertainment.
All of entertainment.
And yeah, you just single-handedly destroyed the Wyatt family.
Yep.
And then you have Wyatt lose to The Undertaker. Did quite like the whole stealing the powers of the Kane and Undertaker and then setting the ring. And it kind of, it was more theatrical than it was good storyline.
Yes.
It was good to watch.
It was more cheese than story.
But it was still quite good and he's done it well. But it's good to see them go back to basics with Bray Wyatt, take him away from the family. He's just Bray Wyatt. Loving the new look. He looks more aggressive with the dreads and that.
A little more evil.
He looks a little bit more evil. Hoping we'll see a lot more of him. Do love his little disappearing act though.
I know.
But can I just say that the new entrance that SummerSlam had, the new walkway.
Oh, yes.
We're hoping that Raw and Smackdown keep it.
The new set, well, the Smackdown set was completely different because it was in a different place.
They still had the floor light up.
Yeah, that's still a different set.
Yeah, but it was almost identical. It was just a slightly smaller version.
The bottom of it was identical. The sides were different.
But yeah,
I liked both sets.
I'm hoping they keep, having all the images on the floor and stuff like that. I mean, Wyatt's entrance with the lights, they were everywhere on that entrance. That looked absolutely spectacular. Good. There wasn't enough widescreen shots.
It was very good.
Then you had, after Randy came out and done the little
American Alpha and Breezango's the other match to talk about.
Febreze, get it right.
Febreze.
For me, that match was actually amazing.
I thought it was very good.
Only because I liked the fact that they actually showed Breeze Darko, with actually some dominance behind him. It put enough doubt watching it, thinking actually there could potentially be a little upset win here.
Yeah.
Which shows the American Alpha as a little bit weak because they have been, since they've debuted, unstoppable. It's also showed Breezango looking a little bit more, well, we can actually compete with the big boys rather than being jobbers. Interested to see where they go.
I was a bit questionable when they first formed for Breeze, I will admit, because it just seems a bit daft.
Well, you had R-Truth, Goldust, Fandango and Tyler Breeze with nothing to do. Let's make them 2 comical tag teams.
Just for the record, Golden Truth, really underused.
Yes. But to be fair, they are actually starting to get some in-ring.
Yeah.
How did R-Truth say Chakra?
I can't remember.
Did he almost say Shakira once?
He did. I think he probably did, actually, yeah.
But my biggest letdown so far on SmackDown this week was the Dean Ambrose backstage coming back from the casino. They built him up.
I think he might have actually been pissed.
Probably. But on the build up to SummerSlam, they've done him really well.
Yeah.
And then they've just chucked him back in it, trying to be comical and funny all the time, rather than just being the lunatic fringe. I don't mind him coming out with funny stuff because he's naturally quite funny, but when he's
come out and be a lunatic.
Trying too much, he just needs to be random and stick to it. But apart from that, SmackDown trumps Raw yet again.
Pretty good show. I enjoyed it more than Raw.
Oh, I definitely
held my attention slightly more.
Now we only have a few minutes left.
We do.
But
I would talk about NXT last night.
You've only seen the first half.
No. But there was only 2 matches on the entire thing, and the rest of it was all just catch up from NXT Takeover. I believe, if I remember.
I think there was one more match. think there was one. I think there was 3 matches in NXT. And I can't remember where I've written it.
I'm going to go off on a tangent here and talk about the debut of Ember Moon
Oh my
on
god!
Saturday night.
Oh, her move off the top rope,
the
that twisting
jumping,
RKO
twisting,
stunner.
stunner thing was absolutely fantastic.
Did they have they given it a name yet?
No.
They should call it Full Moon.
I was thinking more Total Eclipse, to be fair.
Oh, yeah, but then I can see people, the crowd going Total Eclipse of my heart. You've got to be careful with that one.
But yeah, no, NXT went last night was just mainly a lot of catch up about what happened on Saturday, with a little bit of Authors of Pain in it, and the return of Ty Dillinger.
Yes. Yeah, that was good, man. I'm not quite sure on Wesley Blake's new piano
No.
entrance, but it was all right. Don't know why they've actually split him up with Murphy.
Not a clue at all.
And you were right, it was just
the 2 matches.
But there was also, you had the promo for Sanity.
Yeah, I saw that. Not sure. I'm not sure what it's talking about.
No.
To be fair, I don't think anyone is.
But they also did say that Nakamura dislocated Samoa Joe's jaw.
Which may or may not be a work. But
I don't know. I reckon that
he won't be out for long either way.
I'll be out for like a week.
Week or 2, yeah.
Yeah, but I reckon it'd be a case. To be fair, his kicks to the face are pretty fucking brutal. His finisher, Kinshasa, I can't even say it. Kinshasa, fantastic.
Kinshasa, back onto Mauro Ranallo for a second there as well. It's the
too
walking encyclopedia of WWE moves.
Yeah, no, TM61, they've done a lot against Authors of Pain. It was actually a very good match to watch. They actually showed Authors of Pain with a little bit of weakness for the first little bit. Then Authors of Pain came back and dished out some pain, really.
Yeah, pretty much. As they do.
Pretty good. But NXT TakeOver, best match for you? Minus Shinsuke Nakamura and Samoa Joe.
Which was the very, very, very best, isn't it?
It was absolutely incredible.
I don't know. It was really, really, really good pay-per-view. It really, really was. I might have to go, and I don't know if it's just me going with the tide here or not, but I might have to go with Bobby Roode.
To be fair, no, that match with No Way Joe. No,
it was
Cien.
with Cien Almas. They just it was glorious. It just was.
His entrance was brilliant.
If long.
If it was long.
If it was a bit slow and long.
His music is very repetitive.
But it was quite fun to see all the fans singing along to the music.
Yeah, I'm with you on that
Not
one.
a bad debut.
But for me, though, I think the rest of it that showed the most progression is No Way Jose.
Yes.
He was fantastic.
That was a great match.
How he didn't win that match is beyond me. He should have got the win. But on the flip side, on the women's side of NXT, they only really have 3 well-known in NXT, and they've just lost 1.
True.
They've lost Nia Jax to the Dominant Force. They've just lost Bayley.
They've just lost Bayley, but they've got Ember Moon coming in.
Ember Moon and Asuka is going to be a great match someday. It depends what they want to do with Ember Moon. I would love to see Ember Moon built up so that she beats everyone else on the roster, but only loses to Asuka. And I want to say their 4th time of meeting, when you think that Ember Moon's just going to lose again. Out of nowhere, she gets the title and will be the first person to defeat Asuka. I think it'd be good for both characters. It's nice to have an undefeated streak again.
Yeah.
And Asuka is, to be fair, she looks insane when she smiles. She looks terrifying, people. She looks terrifying.
She is quite a terrifying smile.
But I mean, NXT
very talented.
Don't exactly have the best women's roster NXT.
Not at the moment, no.
I think they've got the best women superstar out of all 3 brands. Asuka,
probably, yeah.
Asuka for me is by far the best one. The moment she comes up to main roster, if they don't give her a title straight away, I'll be disappointed. She should come up undefeated. She should be able to hold the NXT and a women's championship for a good couple of months.
Oh, Asuka and Sasha Banks.
Oh, what a match! It should be
for another day.
So there's a lot they can do, but other than that, I can't. The only other NXT women I can think of is Billie Kay. And then you get a couple of other ones. which haven't been given enough
Couple of
TV
ones,
time.
yeah, haven't got enough TV time.
But they have got potential to build them up. But
They have now.
yeah,
Much of a choice now.
yeah, they've got to build up their women's division again.
But
Yeah, I think that basically covers it.
it's definitely been an eventful week.
Be interested to see what the next week brings.
Yes.
At one point, we will do a special on just the cruiserweights when the cruiserweight classic is finished.
Oh yes, a cruiserweight classic wrap up. That was a great idea.
I might give you a chance to watch them all as well.
All right. Being picked on.
Out of everything the cruiserweight classic is,
I've always been a big fan of cruiserweights anyway. Like the entire Attitude Era cruiserweights onwards has been.
It's just, I think Raw though are going to be overwhelmed with wrestlers when it hits.
I think they're going to need to shorten some of their matches.
Yep, and hopefully chuck some of the bigger cruiserweights more SmackDown way so they can contend for the Intercontinental, possibly the World title. I mean, stuff like Tony Nese and Gulak, they are two very big, very aggressive cruiserweights, only about £10 under the limit. They are pushing it. But Tony Nese can do an incredible cartwheel flip off the ring to a super kick. It's an insane move. He done that against Brian Kendrick.
Alright.
And Brian Kendrick, being the veteran, just managed to move out of the way for a submission at the end. Brilliant match. But I'd love to see some decent cruiserweights come up to SmackDown. Yes. Maybe not to form another title, but just to add a little bit of mix for that Intercontinental.
A little more kind of depth.
Because that Intercontinental, they might as well class it as a cruiserweight, because you're going to have all the big boys go for the world title. They should have that Intercontinental as the people that they're not going to give that chance to for the world title yet, and let them go for it. I'm waiting for Cesaro to move to SmackDown, because if they do not use him right in this best out of 7, he should just fucking come to SmackDown, and Shane will use him right. Yeah. Sheamus can stay in Raw.
Sheamus can stay in Raw, Cesaro can come to SmackDown.
Yeah.
Have a ridiculously epic rivalry with Baron Corbin.
Oh. Kalisto Baron Corbin.
Just spitballing him. That just never happened. I didn't even know it was supposed to happen. Baron Corbin on the SummerSlam pre-show.
Yeah.
Said, really upset that my match with Kalisto isn't happening.
Yeah.
I didn't realise it was supposed to.
No, they put out a few little social media things, but it wasn't massive, was it?
No.
But Baron Corbin, be interested to see him back in the ring.
Yeah.
I think that basically
pretty much covers the week.
In an hour and 8 minutes. We could have gone into depth more, but we
an hour and 8 is pushing it for a 1 hour show.
Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely talk more about some of it next week again.
I think, again, probably the third week running, we'll probably end up mentioning Mauro Ranallo next week.
As always.
As always.
We're going to
The walking thesaurus that is Mauro Ranallo.
Oh.
The voice of WWE, as
and
we
SmackDown.
know it. The voice of SmackDown. Just, he's so good. He just is.
And if he ever listens to this, can you please just retweet one of my things? I've been trying to get your attention.
And what's he retweeting from?
Twitter.
What? Twitter. At Ethan_Twiggy, I'm guessing.
That's the one. That would be the one.
Promote.
I'm glad you can I'm glad you can remember my Twitter. I can't.
Yep, so...
I'm logged in permanently. I don't need to remember this.
If you're telling people what it is, it generally helps.
No, but we should be promoting...
Anyway, tangents.
Tangents.
Yes.
TWUK.
That's the one, yes, definitely. Well remembered. This is the first time.
Fluently as well.
But we shall be around next week, hopefully.
Yes.
Keep following, hopefully, at Ethan_Twiggy, at Mike Formoy, at 2GTWUK.
We will also do special little half-hour shows after each pay-per-view, as we now have 2 a month.
Yes.
Apart from
2
5 months where they share.
2 pay-per-views a month should be great fun.
Yes, 19 pay-per-views. Yes. It will be next year. I cannot wait. Well worth the $9.99 for the WWE Network.
But anyway,
yes.
After that cheap plug,
cheap.
We should be back on next week after Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. Give you our thoughts. I've been Mike Formoy.
And I have been Twiggy.
At 2GTWUK. Please send us a tweet. Please follow us.